Hi, everybody. Welcome to our event. How's everybody doing today? Everyone good? Surviving the rain okay? All right, so we're going to get started. If you guys want to grab food while we're talking, feel free anytime to get up and sneak back and go grab more food. Help yourself. The way tonight's going to go down is we're going to do Dr. Wright's going to talk for a little bit, and then we're going to have Noah Price from Graduate Division come and talk about how to do the application and tips and tricks for using Cal State Apply. Then we'll do a little bit where you can ask me questions, and then we'll have faculty members from all of our programs come and give you a little spiel about each of the programs. Then we'll break off, and you can go talk to the program of your choice and their current grad students and get to know our programs a little better. All right, so take it away, Dr. Wright.
All right, thank you so much, Katie. Welcome to all y'all. Thanks so much for coming out in the rain and after hours and all that good stuff. As Katie mentioned, this event tonight is to give you all an overview of the application process for the master's degree in psychology at San Francisco State and allow you to meet some faculty and graduate students in each area. My name is Chris Wright. I'm the chair of the department and also the coordinator of the industrial organizational program. As you may know, we have two graduate programs in psychology. One is a Master of Arts and the other is a Master of Science. And then within each of those, we have 3 concentrations. So at the end of the process where you learn a little bit about the application and each coordinator talks to you, as Katie mentioned, we will break out into these rooms. The room numbers are all in this building. And there'll be faculty and some concentrations have graduate students as well. So before we get started, I just want to thank the staff for putting this all together, for the food and all the logistics and the invitations and everything, and for the faculty and the students and representatives from graduate studies coming out tonight to talk to you all. So what we're going to do first is Noah Price from Graduate Studies has graciously agreed to give you a live demo of the Cal State Apply process.
How y'all doing this evening? Before I get started, I want to introduce you to our Director of Admissions, Katrina Eshon. You can find my name as well as Katrina's on our website. So if you need help throughout this process, feel free to send us an email. I want to just give you a quick overview of the Division of Graduate Studies' role in all of this, right? So we are the bureaucracy, but we're a friendly bureaucracy and we want to help you, okay? What the Division of Graduate Studies does, we sort of oversee the graduate admission process for all programs on campus. We maintain the online application, we enforce admission policies, and that for you all means general university admission requirements. They're pretty simple. We screen all applicants for a 3.0 GPA, for a bachelor's degree, or you will earn a bachelor's degree by the time you matriculate. We also want to make sure that your former institutions are accredited. We don't admit students who went to a school that's not accredited. We do get applicants though. GPA, that's an issue for some students. They're always worried about the GPA, the 3.0 requirement. We calculate that a couple of different ways to make sure that you get to the general university benchmark. So we'll look at your last 2 years, your last 60 semester units. That's all we're going to look at. If you're at 3.0 or higher, we say that you're eligible. You may have done really well overall. We'll also look at that as well. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's not any more sophisticated than that. Now, the online application is tricky. It's new. We're a year into it, and so I want to kind of walk you through it. The important thing to do when you get ready to fill out this application is to prepare your program materials. That's what really matters. So take advantage of meeting with these folks. You want to present yourself in a way that demonstrates a good fit for that program. Don't worry too much about what our office is doing. We're going to kind of take a back seat to all of this. But with that in mind, we do want you to take it serious. We need from you unofficial transcripts from every school ever attended. Some of you think back, okay? You went to maybe 2 or 3 different community colleges and maybe you forgot about one. Well, try to remember and gather up all your unofficial transcripts. You're gonna upload them to this system. Most community colleges or universities allow you to go online and download a PDF version of your transcript. Do that now and get them all ready to go. And then if you get selected for admission, we're gonna ask for officials. So just keep that in mind. All right, so you're also welcome to stop by the Division of Graduate Studies during business hours, 9 to 5. We're in the administration building up on the corner of 19th and Holloway. And we can help you kind of troubleshoot this application. Like I said, it's new and there's some glitches to it. If you need just general advising, if you want a GPA calculation done, you can absolutely stop by. We'll help you out. So note our website. It's grad.sfsu.edu. And you'll find all kinds of good information on there. Most importantly, you'll find this apply button that will take you to the Cal State Apply application. There we go. So scroll down a little bit. You want to choose Fall 19. You're going to want to create an account just like you would any other online type of system, right? I'm going to log you in, or log myself into my fake application here. And we'll pick, what's your intended program? What concentration do you want to study? Human sexuality? How about a psych program?
Clinical.
Clinical? All right, we'll do clinical. I'll come back when Human Sexualities does theirs, and then we'll look at their app. Okay, so this application, it's a common application that's shared across the CSU, right? So like a lot of medical schools or nursing schools, they all share the same application across the country. Ours is across the state of California. When you fill this out, these 3 sections are going to be shared if you choose to apply to other CSUs. The program materials section, this is the most important. This is where meeting with the individuals in the various concentrations comes into play. Some of this stuff is kind of irrelevant, right? It's kind of geared toward undergrad students, so we ask you to just skip it. So don't get bogged down in some of these details, please. They're not important to us. We're not even going to look at them. Anytime there's a field that says optional, and if you want to skip it, feel free to skip it. It's not going to hurt your chances. It's not going to have any impact on your application. So I'm going to go choose psych, clinical psych here. Bear with me. Oh, the second page. I know. How did that happen? So you pick your program, and from there,
Would you look them up?
yes, I would. If you have one handy, I have the same computer in my office, and it is trouble. Can I move the window here? Yeah.
Remove it. This is when we collapse it. And put that down there. Okay, cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So a couple things. Academic history. You want to enter all the colleges you've ever attended, just the dates and any degrees earned. Transcript entry. We want you to ignore this. This is very important. If you spend time on this, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Just skip it. Each of these sections, they let you opt out, right? So I have to actually fill out colleges attended to get there, but it'll say opt out. That's the button you want to click on. Same with GPA entries and standardized tests. You all require the GRE, right? You can opt out of entering your GRE here. Just say I'm not adding any because it's self-reported data. You need to submit the official scores to the university and we'll upload that to the system on your behalf. So anytime you see a button like this, I'm not adding or opt out, feel free to do that. It's not going to impact your application. Over here, this is the most important thing, program materials, clinical psych. Definitely give this a good read before you get started, right? There's 4 tabs across the top. First is their homepage. It's got all their information, instructions. Yeah. Documents, these are the things that they need you to upload to support your application. You're going to have to upload unofficial transcripts here. Please make sure they're clear and legible. Don't take photographs. We've had students take photographs of transcripts on the table. We have to reject that application and put it into an incomplete status, and they go to the bottom of the stack for us. So just, upload clear, legible documents. This is a cool feature. You can manage your letters of recommendation here. You're going to add a recommendation. What that means is you're going to add your letter writer's name, title, email address. The system's going to ping the letter writer and give them instructions on how to upload a letter through this system. So it's pretty cool. And then you'll get alerts once those are submitted, right? And then finally, questions. Do you all have specific questions?
So not for clinical, but for the research-based work.
Okay.
So the MA programs have questions that ask which advisor you'd like to work with, and then also there's if you've applied before, would you like us to use previous material?
Cool. So definitely give these questions a read before you sit down. You're not going to finish this application the day before the deadline. There's too much work involved. So get started, use the winter break to prepare all your materials. And of course, we are here if you have questions. Does anybody have any questions right now?
How many people apply to the program?
Our program, that's a question for me.
Yeah.
Which program, MyLMDB?
Let's just say all of them if you haven't.
So for IO and clinical, they're the highest applied to. There's usually over 100 applicants. Some years upwards of 200 if it's a really big year. For the other concentrations, it kind of fluctuates between like 30 to 50, depending on the year.
Yeah.
And how many admitted?
8 to 12 in every program.
All right. Well, good luck, everybody. Katrina passed out a few flyers. This week and next week, we are having some drop-in workshops. So if you want to stop by and talk to us on how to prep your materials for this application system, we're happy to help. 3:30 to 5.
Almost every day.
Okay.
They'll help you scan material.
We will. We do. So, all right.
Okay, thanks, Noah.
No, Katrina, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck, everybody.
Okay. Da-da-da. Okay, so anybody got any more general questions about the application process or about like numbers, materials? So real quick, I'm gonna go over what most of all the programs require. You need a CV or a resume. We need your unofficial GRE score report. That can be turned in after you submit. So if you submit early and you haven't taken your GRE test yet, you can send me the unofficial score report later. So don't worry about waiting to submit until you've done it. You need 3 letters of rec. There's the option to add a 4th if you would like. And then you also need your personal statements. The prompts are specific to the particular concentration you would like to apply to. And there's different page limits for each concentration. So make sure when you're looking on Cal State Apply, we'll have the prompt listed and we'll have the page limit listed. So make sure to answer them in a cohesive essay. And you don't go past the page limit because they'll stop reading. The other materials that we require, off the top of my head, see, oh, we have 2 departmental forms. One is a letter of recommendation waiver. It's really easy. All you have to do is be like, write the name of your letter of recommendation writer and then sign that you waive your right to see the letter of rec. You have to waive your right. And then we have a prerequisite form. The prereqs are different for every program. So if you have a question about what the particular prereqs are, just come talk to me individually because some of them have a lot of prereqs. So I'd rather just talk to you one-on-one. But we require you to list out what courses you took that you want to count as the prereqs, especially if you didn't take them here at state. But we want you to list them all out. And that's all you need. Those are all the materials, basically. So I'm gonna let the people from the different concentrations come and talk.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go in alphabetical order. Katie, would you mind just writing your email address?
Yeah, I'm gonna write my contact info. If you wanna come make an appointment with me or do a phone appointment with me, I've already seen some of you I know. Feel free to email or call me, and I am happy to help. So let's start with clinical first.
Could you just tell me, so I just want to make sure I'm hitting the right points. So
Yeah.
is there any specific thing you want to make sure?
Just very brief overview of the program, because then we're going to break up so that people can ask more specific questions.
Great. I'm a faculty member in the clinical psychology area, and so we are a 2-year training program. An important thing to know about our program is there is a heavy emphasis on clinical training. We really start people right away, and so successful applicants to our program, you really do need to have some amount of clinical experience because you will hit the ground running with that. People in our program will get the coursework and pre-master's license or hours they need to move towards a license as a marriage and family therapist. We also offer research opportunities within our clinical program, and so I'm happy to talk more about that later as well. And I think that is all I'll say right now. So thank you very much. I look forward to speaking with you.
All right, next, developmental, Dr. Cookstone.
Hello, my name is Jeff Cookston, and I'm the coordinator of the developmental psychology concentration here at SF State. So many of you may have a plan maybe to get a PhD in clinical psychology, and a developmental master's degree is a really good stepping stone for that. That's one of the 3 groups of people that tend to come to our grad program, are those who plan to go on to PhD programs in clinical psychology, because we give you the research base. It's going to enable you to go into that research practice career. Graduates from our program are at Northwestern, University of Miami, and what was the other? Berkeley, so from that clinical area. Another are those who are interested in child and family studies and developmental psychology and a PhD in those kinds of areas, child development, human development, those programs. And those probably represent the majority of our students. And then we have students who've gone on to Arizona State University, Penn State University, UT Austin, a number of places to finalize and get their PhDs. Another group of people are those who know that they need more research experience, and they come from the program to get those developmental change research question, the ability to answer those questions, and then they go straight into industry. So we have people running major projects at UCSF, at the Veterans Affairs Administration, also at Mathematica, Google, GatePath, Airbnb, and then a number of people have gone also into legal counsel areas representing groups and health plans and things of that outcome. So what makes our developmental program very unique is that the very first semester you're here, you're immediately working with a faculty mentor. So the huge part of the application is indicating which member of our faculty you want to work with. And so sometimes students will come in and they'll work with our IO faculty, or they'll work with our clinical faculty, or our school psychology faculty, or with the developmental faculty. If you find a person at the university who's actively doing research that you want to get involved with, health education, we would be open to that. And you just need to let us know, and then we can pair you and kind of nurture that mentor relationship, because that's what we want, is you working with a faculty member, getting experiences in their lab. Also in the first week of the semester, you'll be involved in a research data collection project over at the children's campus here at SF State, doing direct data collection with preschool age children that will involve data analysis, longitudinal questions, and all the observational methodologies. And you'll end up writing in APA style an enormous amount so that you really understand how to write and disseminate scientific findings. In your second semester, you're working directly with a faculty member, starting your research project that is independent from the project that's happening in the lab or related to the projects that are happening in the lab. And then in the fourth semester, you'll have completed a master's thesis and really understood the many ways that we engage in scientific reasoning and asking questions about developmental change and change over time. So if you're interested in a clinical program, go talk to Dr. Holly first, but maybe come up and see us in 503 as well, because we may have a lot to say you didn't know to ask about. So thank you.
All right, next, IO. Dr. Ashman. Okay.
Hello, thanks for coming. I'm Kevin Eshelman. I'm here with two of our other faculty, Chris Wright, who you met, and Diana Sanchez, to his right. We're the 3 full-time faculty in the program. IO Psychology in general, it's taking psychological theory and the scientific method and applying it into workplaces. So we have research labs on the topic. I focus on stress and well-being of workers. Chris focuses on selection and placement of workers. And Diana Sanchez focuses on training and the incorporation of virtual reality technology into workplace issues. Our program is a full-time program over 2 years. First year, you're going to be taking the vast majority of your coursework. Second year, you're doing an internship in an organization, oftentimes in the Bay Area. And we'll be meeting on the 5th floor. We have students for you to meet, as well as you'll have a chance to ask us questions. We also have a lot of information on our IO program website on the SF State psychology page. You can look at the links of prior internships that students have had over the recent years, get a little bit of their bio, as well as get a sense of what coursework you'd be taking in our program if you don't get a chance to chat with us tonight. See you all later.
All right, next up, Pat from Mind Brain Behavior.
Yeah, mind, brain, and behavior. It sounds a whole lot like all of psychological science. But that's us. When I first arrived, what was our program called? Research or experimental psychology?
It was called research.
Research. And there was merit to calling it exactly that, because it really does cover the traditional areas of experimental psychology, right? Perception, learning, memory, decision-making, things of that sort. But now with the cognitive science mixed in. Like the other programs, were designed for students to finish in 2 years. The second-year student in my lab last year finished on time. I do understand that a number of students tend to trickle over and not quite have that thesis approved, but oftentimes that would just entail not graduating until after the summer session. So I think we do a good job of moving students through the program on schedule. I think the majority of our students enter our program with the intention of then applying to a PhD program. And like the other area groups, we've had very good success in putting our master's students in a position to move on into a PhD program if that's what they want. See you later if you want to talk to me more.
All right. Next up, school psychology, Dr. Eifort.
Hello. I am Shasta Eifort. I'm faculty in the school psychology program here. And I want to talk a little bit about what school psychologists do, because most people don't know. And then I'll talk a little bit about, briefly, how our program works here. So school psychologists work as psychologists in a school setting to support the educational outcomes for all children. So what that means functionally is that we actually do a lot of things during the day. We do some therapy with students. We do psychological and social emotional assessment for students. And we do something called teacher consultation, too, which means that we're working with teachers or other folks at the school to help support them in basically in supporting the kids in their classroom. So like if they're having difficulty with behavior problems in their classroom, we help and work with the teachers to set up a plan, sort of reduce some of that. So we wear a number of different hats as school psychologists. And if you are interested in working clinically and you like working with kids, this could be a really good fit for you. The program here is a 3-year program. And when you finish the program, you will have the California credential to practice as a school psychologist in the school. The first 2 years, similar to the clinical program, you hit the ground running, you're taking classes, you're doing, I think it's 16 hours a week of work in the schools as a therapist or doing assessment with kiddos to kind of get the clinical practice that you need. And then that 3rd year, you're doing a paid full-time internship in a local school district. So you're working full-time that 3rd year, though you're still taking classes and getting support and supervision through the university here. Thanks.
All right, last but not least, social, Dr. Suri.
Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Gaurav Suri. I represent the social group, and we're busy changing the name of the social group to Social, Personality, and Affective. So social stands for the influence of other people on our behavior. Personality is about the traits, the enduring traits that make us do the things that we do. And affective is about emotion and emotion regulation. If I had to say one unifying thing about our program is we inquire about why we do the things that we do. It's about motivation, emotion, how these processes work together and shape our lives. We have people who are faculty members who are heavily into personality, for example, others into emotion. Myself, I study decision-making using neural networks and experimental methods. Heavy emphasis on research. Many of the people who come as even first-year students have mature. We very quickly start with them and mature their research, and people routinely write papers in their 2 years, most of them are targeting PhD programs. So we've placed people at Berkeley, Stanford, people who graduated from this and become professors elsewhere. And we've also placed people in companies like Facebook and LinkedIn because there's a heavy statistical underpinning to the experimental method. So if you're curious about the human condition and why we do the things that we do, consider our concentration. Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. So before we break up and send you to the various faculty, I just want to let you know 2 things. Number 1, grab food.
Yes, take more food.
Second one, you have a unique opportunity. So you're rewarded for coming out in the rain and the cold on a Tuesday night, in that you have access to faculty from all of these concentrations who can answer all of your questions. And even more importantly, if concentration has graduate students available for you to talk to them. Ask them the questions that you're not comfortable asking the faculty. Ask about the culture. Ask about the application process. Anything. So you have access to us. Katie is giving you her contact information.
You can come and talk to me right now.
She can talk to her right now and utilize her throughout the application process. She's a wonderful resource. And please take advantage of the rest of this evening's faculty will be available. So these are the rooms. And
there's one thing I want to add. So one thing that I love about our programs is how interdisciplinary they are. If you would like to work with a faculty member who is not in the concentration you are applying for, you can. You need to explain why you want to work cross-disciplinarily in your personal statement. But like Dr. Suri has a student in his lab that's from Mind Brain Behavior. He's a social psychologist, and his student is taking classes that are Mind Brain Behavior, but you can work with other people. We are open to having you work with other people in other departments of the university as like your 3rd reader on your thesis. We have partnerships with UCSF for Mind Brain Behavior. So if you want to do stuff with brain scans, that can happen. So we have a lot of interesting and cool connections in the Bay Area, at like training connections in the university, connections just even within our department. And so if you have questions about how to take advantage of those sorts of things, you should ask the faculty, ask grad students, ask me. And that's just what I wanted to add. All right, everybody. So if you have multiple concentrations you want to go see, you can bounce between rooms. Food's still going to be here for a little bit. You got questions for me, come talk to me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what's up?